Hey, how's it going? It's Jocelyn Hillam here, and I'm excited to be with you. Today is Tuesday, so it is our Tuesday pregnancy episode. I do a pregnancy episode every Tuesday and a Mindset for Motherhood episode every Friday. So today you're tuning in to the pregnancy episode, and we are going to talk a little bit about postpartum today. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, the host of the Meliora Mentor podcast. Meliora means better in Latin. I encourage better thoughts for a better you and a better life through taking small steps in thought and action. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps without making drastic changes to their everyday life, and I can help you. Thanks for joining. With my first baby, postpartum was incredibly difficult. I didn't really want to accept it or realize it at the time, but I definitely had the baby blues, and if not, a form of depression, because that time was very, very hard for me mentally. I always wanted to be a mom. Growing up as a little girl, I would play with my dolls and pretend I was a mom, and even for a while I'd pretend that my kids stayed home while I went to work at school, and then I came home and I still had my babies to take care of, and I just loved that as a little girl, and that's what I wanted to be. Now here I am with my first little baby, and I am about to go crazy. It is hard. I don't have any adults to talk to. I was used to being really busy before, and then I went to having this baby at home, and it was not an easy transition. It was really hard, and I think if I would have known some of these tips that I'm going to give you today, that postpartum would have gone a little bit smoother for me, and I would have maybe enjoyed motherhood a little bit more than I did at first. It has definitely been a transition, a learning curve for me to learn to enjoy motherhood like I imagined motherhood being. And we talk more about those transitions in the mindset episodes that I do on Friday. But today we're going to talk about a few tips to do postpartum to help you enjoy it better, to overcome those baby blues and that postpartum depression a little faster. Always talk to your medical provider if you feel you have depression and need more help. I am not a doctor. I am just giving you insight on what I have learned and what has helped me in the past. The first one is to avoid isolation. So this actually was incredibly hard for me. I was paranoid. I had my first baby was a premature baby. He came 9 weeks early. And the hospital, rightly so, but they told me all the things that could happen if my preemie baby got sick. So I, in a way, did have to isolate, but I realize now how that was not good for my mental status. That was not good for my mind to isolate. I should have depended a little bit more on family, on my husband, and close friends to help out, who I trusted and who I knew were well. But I didn't do that. I took it all upon me, and I was the one who stayed home with the baby all the time. Didn't even get out to go to church or anything for 2 months, and that is hard. That is incredibly hard. So if you can avoid the isolation, your mind will do so much better. Tell your husband how you're feeling. Tell your family members how they're feeling. Breaking up this isolation. As time went on and I had more children, my husband realized this about me, that it wasn't good for my mind for me to stay home. So come baby number 2, he would offer me to go do simple things like go fill up the car with gas, where I don't even have to really interact with people. Just gets me out of the house though, or even just go for a drive. Even if you can't go to stores or go to other people's houses, just simply getting out of that house and not being completely isolated there is going to help quite a bit in your postpartum depression and in overcoming the baby blues. And like I said, ask for help. As moms, And new moms especially, we want to take it all on because we want to show and prove that we can do this. We can do this mom job and that we're excited and we want to be a mom. Because as most of us do, we want to raise these children and we want to raise them right, the way that God would have us raise them. But I think we don't realize how hard it mentally can be if we don't have a little bit more help, if we don't appreciate some outside help to keep us from staying isolated. And if you are isolated and because of a premature baby like I was, and you really feel that you cannot leave, then find ways to connect with other people. We've got amazing technology these days. Technology, as I pronounce my words funny. We have amazing technology these days that can help you connect with people via phone calls, text messages, Skype, what have you, FaceTime, but connect with people. Ask other mothers how they felt and how they dealt with it. Connect though. Don't isolate yourself with just baby because that will be very hard mentally to get through and to get over. If you are able to, here's my next tip. I'm going to give you 3 tips today that will help you. The next tip is to move your body. Now, if you just barely had the baby, I do not recommend doing this very much or very hard. Wait till your 6-week appointment and see how things are, or do some gentle stretching, but don't push too hard. Because it is important that your body heals and that you give it the proper time to heal before you hit it too hard with hard exercise. But some light movement, some slow walking, some light stretches can increase your mood tremendously. Those endorphins that exercise releases are very powerful in helping you to find a more positive mindset and helping you to overcome these baby blues. Part of the reason we go through these baby blues and the postpartum depression is because our hormones are so kind of out of whack. They're trying to normalize and stabilize again after all the hormones needed to produce and grow a baby. And so your hormones are kind of crazy for a little while. And mine definitely were, especially after my first one. I cried a lot and got emotional over things that I usually don't get emotional over and just cried. But some slight and small exercise can actually really help your mind and your body to heal. But more importantly, for me, it was my mind. It helped my mind so much to do a little bit of something. And listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. If it's saying, wow, that walking really hurts, I probably should stop, then you probably should stop. But if you're stretching and you're like, wow, that feels really good, then stretch. Listen to your body because our bodies are amazing. They often tell us exactly what we need and how far and how much we can push if we just get in tune and strive to listen to how it feels when we are working out. But that is my second tip, is to move your body. Do some type of physical activity within range and with listening to your body to help start overcoming those baby blues and that postpartum depression. The last one that we are going to talk about is setting up realistic expectations. Now, when you're a new mom, and especially when you're a first-time mom, you have all these visions of what your motherhood is going to look like, and your house is going to be perfectly cleaned and decorated, and kids are just going to be quietly sleeping. The baby's just quietly sleeping while you hum and sing and dance around the house, enjoying cleaning and making dinner and all of that fun stuff, right? Sounds dreamy, but oftentimes postpartum does not look like that. Postpartum encompasses navigating those crazy hormones. It encompasses learning how to have a new baby in your home. It encompasses nursing if you're nursing, and perhaps less sleep with having to get up with the baby. It encompasses everything shifting and changing. Whether this is your first, your second, or your fifth, a new baby always brings change and a different dynamic into your family as you strive to work that baby and the new member of your family into the routine. And sometimes we want that dreamy picture. We desire to have the dreamy singing, dancing, dusting our house while dinner's simmering and the baby's just calmly sleeping. But it does not look like that. Or at least it often does not look like that. Maybe on occasion it can look like that. But realize that this is a season and give yourself grace. just having a baby is a pretty amazing and an accomplishment. It's a pretty amazing accomplishment and a feat. It's amazing that your body did that and that you were able to bring this human into the world and your body helped you do that. And now your body needs time to heal. And if your house has to wait for a little while, maybe the dust on your shelves is 2 inches instead of half an inch. Maybe the toys are scattered around when your husband gets home and they're usually not. Maybe things are a little more put together and dinner is on the table at around a decent time at night, but during this season it's not. Give yourself some grace. Set those realistic expectations of what you need to do, what needs to be done, and what can wait. What really needs to be done is you healing your body, is you taking care of your baby, and you doing the things you need to care for your mind and your family. The bare minimums, not the above and beyonds that would be great and make your vision come true, but the bare minimums. Actually, as you set these lower expectations, it will help you come faster out of the baby blues because you are meeting them. If you set these unreal ideals and, if you set these unrealistic expectations, that's the word I was looking for. If you've set those unreal expectations, you're going to feel like a failure because it's going to be far and few and in between when you can actually reach that. So as you get better at setting realistic expectations based on your season, you will find more happiness and that you will be able to work through some of those baby blues and depression by setting realistic expectations. So those are 3 of my tips today for you in dealing with postpartum. The first was to avoid being isolated. Don't isolate yourself. If you can get out, get out. You need to get out of the house a little bit. The next was to include some physical activity. Maybe not in your first 6 weeks right after having the baby, or if so, make it be light, but listen to your body and do some physical activity. And the third was to set realistic expectations. Set expectations low so that you can reach them. And this will also help you to come out of that kind of funk that we get in after we have a baby, or that we can get in. I know not everybody deals with it, but this is a good episode for those who do deal with the baby blues and postpartum depression. If you like this episode, you will really like next week. And actually, I'm really excited about next week's episode. I had the privilege of interviewing Jessica from the Thriving in Motherhood podcast, and she gives a 5-step framework to go from surviving to thriving after having a baby. And that's a really powerful episode that I hope you'll tune into next week to help enlighten your mind with dealing with postpartum. These are both of our experiences, and as you combine and use experiences, insights that you learned from other moms, it can help you in your motherhood and in your pregnancy. This season of pregnancy, the season of having and birthing a baby, and the season of postpartum are not easy seasons. They can be very difficult and very trying and hard in many ways. If you struggle during pregnancy, but you want to find positivity, I can help you. I have a positive pregnancy program where I guide you through video exercises 1 to 2 minutes at a time to help you find positivity, to help you find more sacred beauty in pregnancy. If that interests you, see the top link in the show notes, and that will lead you to the Positive Pregnancy Program. Mama, you're amazing. Your body is doing amazing things in growing these babies, in birthing these babies, and in healing from these babies, in healing your mind even postpartum. And you can do it. I believe in you, and I know that you're supposed to bring these children into this world. You know it, and God knows it. Sometimes it is in these weak and hard and difficult moments that draws us closer to God, that draws us closer to Jesus Christ, and gives us hope and faith in our purpose as mothers. So you can do this. I believe in you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for implementing, and thank you for sharing for those who need it. I'm trying to get 100 reviews on my podcast this year. I've got 16. So if you could give me a rating and review on iTunes, that would really help this podcast to be found by other mothers who need help with pregnancy, who need help with their mindset, who want to enjoy motherhood more. So if you could give me a rating and review, I would really appreciate it. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Meliora Mentor podcast, for listening, for sharing, and for most of all, applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you and a better life through taking small steps in thought or action to reach your goal. If you are one of those individuals who have an inner desire but are having a difficult time making progress in your goals, I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.